you have been such an amazing inspiration to the entire country. How much do we love Erika Kirk?
But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
Forgive me, did you see people didn't understand the hug that you and JD had? They went into the weirdest places, Erika.
Oh my gosh. You guys, please.
Could Erika Kirk have tried to seduce JD Vance right in front of everyone, live on television while his wife was standing there watching? Because according to JD himself, he's now basically confirmed that moment wasn't nothing. Because I'm sorry, that hug wasn't normal, the hair rubbing didn't look casual, and the way she stayed there just a second longer than needed had people looking at the screen like, hold on, what is happening? Now I already know what some of you are thinking, that's a stretch. But wait, because as y'all probably know by now, JD Vance is being openly talked about as a possible Trump successor. So the idea that Erika Kirk would want to be closer to someone like that, that's really not hard to believe. Now before Erika Kirk was this conservative figure people see today, she was Miss Arizona USA back in 2012. And that matters, because pageants aren't just about crowns and gowns. That's a world where you're trained to smile on cue, hold eye contact, fix your posture, read a room fast, and sell a version of yourself to complete strangers without breaking character.
That means your new Miss Arizona USA 2012 is Erika Franzwey.
And let's not forget, she also popped up on Bravo's Summer House. Yeah, reality TV. People love to brush that off like it means nothing, but critics online have been saying for years that reality TV teaches you things. How to perform emotion, how to stay calm when it's tense, how to come off warm and charming even when things are awkward. Now, that part matters later, because once Erika moved into political spaces, people didn't just say she was polished. Conservative critics started whispering that she brought Hollywood energy with her. Online, people don't just say Erika smiles a lot, they say she knows when to smile, when to soften her voice, when to lean in, when to make a moment feel personal. And if you've watched her interviews, especially the recent ones, you can literally see her switch gears. Calm, composed, then suddenly tears. And I'm not even the one saying this. A lot of people online straight up call it acting.
My husband did something very simple. He talked to people. You're going to be murdered for talking to people. He didn't go after people, he went after your ideas.
Nothing illegal about that, obviously, but the perception stuck. So could she have made a move on JD? A lot of people think probably, because this is someone who's trained to work a room. It's just that most people didn't even know that side of her existed. And speaking of things y'all probably didn't know about Erika, there have been rumors floating around online that Charlie wasn't even her first husband. Yeah, apparently she was married before she ever linked up with Kirk. The name that keeps popping up in those posts is Derek Chelsvig. People online claim, allegedly, that this relationship overlapped with her involvement in a ministry called Romanian Angels. And as you've probably seen in different videos by now, that organization has been tied by online rumors to child trafficking in Romania during the Obama administration, with people claiming the activity stopped after his second term. There is no verified proof of that, none. But that is still a wild thing for someone to even be connected to, because people keep asking, why her? Why does her name keep coming up in these posts and not everyone else?
I believe that we all have angels in our lives, and these are my little angels from Antonio Placement Center in Constanța, Romania.
And now you can see the real issue, because even being loosely linked to allegations like that alone could destroy JD Vance's political future before it even really starts. What really made this situation spiral is that the criticism didn't just stay on one side. She wasn't only getting hit by the left, she started catching heat from the right too. Far-right voices like Nick Fuentes went straight after her, calling her fake, calling her manipulative, basically saying she's an actress who puts on a conservative role when it benefits her. And once that CBS Town Hall preview dropped, he went live and made his feelings very clear. He didn't hold back at all. He mocked her tone, her facial expressions, the pauses in her speech. At one point, he even joked, "And the Oscar goes to Erika," like he was watching a bad performance instead of a serious interview.
Erika, her face, her expression hardens and she goes, "Stop." And we're supposed to be like, Oh, whoa!
Different sides of the internet, same takeaway, that her past felt like a performance, and people started wondering if her present was one too. Now, as y'all know, Charlie was unalived in broad daylight, and even though there's a known shooter in custody, a lot of people are still not convinced, which is why so many conspiracies started spreading. People began saying Erika knows more than she's letting on, that there's information she's holding back. And even though Erika has publicly said she forgives the shooter, a lot of people online don't believe that. They say it doesn't add up. They say it doesn't feel real.
That man. That young man. I forgive him.
There's also a strong belief online that this wasn't a one-man job, with people questioning how everything could have been planned and carried out by just one person. Some rumors go even further, tying the situation to intelligence groups, even Mossad. To be very clear, that part is pure speculation. Nothing confirmed, just theories people throw around. But the fact that it even entered the conversation shows how intense this got.
Or two, some people say you were actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me, and you were Charlie's handler, and Israel killed Charlie.
Right.
And I'll be honest for a second. If you're JD and you're hearing rumors that your close friend's wife might have known more about his death and didn't say anything, that would be alarming. Anyone would be uneasy hearing that, especially when your own political future is under a microscope. Erika has dismissed all of this publicly, calling it conspiracy noise. But by the time she did, the internet had already made up its mind that there was more to the story.
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Then things took another turn. People started zooming in on her jewelry. Yeah, welcome to full internet detective mode. Some users claimed one of her large rings meant she was secretly tied to the Freemasons. Others began breaking down different pieces she wears, suggesting hidden meanings and symbols. Erika had previously shared that she wears a bloodstained St. Michael pendant, one her husband was wearing when he was shot. That detail alone sent people spiraling even more.
They say that the rings on your fingers, which are
My kids'
your kids' initials,
my wedding band, the Medal of Freedom, my engagement ring.
but apparently they symbolize some kind of secret plot.
She's also said that online harassment isn't new for her, explaining that both she and Charlie were targets of conspiracy theories long before his death. She's gone on record saying, "If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I don't care." This was happening before Charlie was murdered. She added that watching how this affects the people she loves is what finally pushed her to speak up. But here's the issue. Once the internet decides you're suspicious, everything gets questioned. Now, even if JD Vance was the alleged target here, let's not pretend he's some perfect, untouchable guy either, because JD has a track record of switching things up when it benefits him. And that's important. It explains why people think someone might allegedly feel bold enough to try something with him in the first place. This is the same JD Vance who used to go hard against Trump, and then ended up right by his side. Back in 2016, JD openly criticized Trump. He called him an idiot and reprehensible, and in private messages, he even compared him to Hitler. Those messages were reported on and followed him for years. Then fast forward, and suddenly he's a loyal Trump ally, front row, all in. A lot of people don't talk enough about how quick that switch was.
Well, first of all, Margaret, because I've always been open. And sometimes, of course, I've disagreed with the president, but I've also been extremely open about the fact that I was wrong about Donald Trump.
Then there's his foreign policy stuff. Before becoming vice president, JD spoke out against sending U.S. aid to Ukraine during Russia's invasion. In a 2022 interview, he said he didn't really care what happened to Ukraine either way. That quote has been repeated everywhere. He also wrote that more aid wasn't in America's best interest. More recently, as vice president, he backed a peace plan that critics say would force Ukraine to give up land. When people pushed back, JD brushed them off, saying they were living in a fantasy land. That comment went viral and made headlines. So when people criticize JD, it's not based on rumors, it's based on his own words and how often he's changed direction in public. Which brings this right back to Erika. If JD is known for changing lanes when power is involved, people are asking, did Erika think she could play that same game with him? And if she did, what happened when it didn't work?